I didn't hit record. There we go. I'm now recording because I'm recording all these classes because, as you know, these classes are, or some of you that have been following this, these are all the chakras. We've started at the base chakra, down at the base of the spine. We're moving up the Sushumna Nadi, which is the central column of energy that runs from the base to the crown. Let me get into the camera. We're moving on up to Manipura today, and I am recording them all because I want to put them all out on my YouTube once I've condensed them and clipped them up a little bit. So yeah, so you may have missed a few, but it doesn't matter, they're still enjoyable. So Kat, your husband, could I just sorry, who said that? What was that?
That's Kelly, sorry.
Kelly, what did you say?
So that I've missed a couple of chakras.
You have, but don't worry, we're going to burst into Manipura today, which is at the solar plexus, and you've still got the heart, the throat, the brow, and then the crown chakra to go. So you've only missed 2. All right, so we're all good to go. So you've still got another 5 left to cleanse and get spinning freely, so all these energy channels run throughout the body. Before we start, we've got a minute. Has anybody got any questions on the chakras? Is there anything anybody wants to know?
Everything? I don't know anything.
I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah. Okay, Kelly. I don't have time for everything. I've only got time for a little something. Okay, so very quickly, chakras. Ancient practitioners of anything like this, you know, be it yoga or anything like Tai Chi or anything like that, they believe that we have energy channels that run across the body. And wherever these energy channels intersect is where a chakra is. Okay, so if I have an energy channel running from shoulder to shoulder and head to belly, if they cross here, I'll have a chakra here. I mean, I don't know if there is one right here, I don't know. I know there's one in the throat. I'm sort of pointing at my collarbone. So just for argument's sake, so wherever there's an intersection of an energy line, there is a chakra. Now they could be either super tiny or quite a big intersection. So if there's loads of intersections, they might be quite big. And they're like wheels. When they're working correctly, they're like wheels of energy that spin, okay? And if you think about like a river flowing, and then when a beaver comes in and builds its little dam, and it backs all that river up behind it, when you get a chakra flowing, or when you activate a chakra, you're essentially pulling a branch out of that dam and letting that energy and that river flow through. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Does it have any kind of proven, I mean obviously we all love yoga, but is there any like medical proof that actually
these
keeping
exist?
them clear is it sounds silly, I know it's obviously good for your health, but
No.
is there anything extra that's beneficial?
So the only system that I know of that has proven this to exist is with Qi and like the Taoist, the Chinese system, where so Qi and Prana are the same sort of, they're the same sort of mana, the life force, and Qi has been proven to exist because it has an electromagnetic field, and it is carried in lymph and blood and all the fluids of the body. And it also is in everything around you, the trees. Anything that has fluid in it will have Qi, have this energy, have this electromagnetic field. And yoga, all these sort of ancient traditions, you know, they all cross over. So yes, there is a scientific to it. And also, I think Kat could jump in here because, Kat, I mean, let's take the solar plexus where we are tonight, Manipura. I mean, how many of you have ever had a sick feeling just here?
Yeah.
All right, when you get anxious, okay? I'm pretty sure that Kat will back me up on this, but your chakras are aligned up the spine. There's a central column of energy that runs up the spine. There's all nerves and all these like the super highways of energy that's running through it. This one in particular, right in the spine at the back, there's a massive bunch of nerves, isn't there, Kat?
There is, yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you have a thought, you know, these are all connected. The superhighway from your brain, you've got the vagus nerve down into your stomach. All these are super connected from your brain running down through your spine. And this one in particular gets activated when you're scared, when you're nervous, when you're worried, when you're stressed. And I've had this feeling so bad that I've had to try and press it in and try and, you know, get it away. And it is because in the back of your spine the front of your spine coming out into the center of the body are all these nerves, and they make up the Manipura belt, as we call it, Manipura link. And I think, Kat, have you got anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, it's just those sort of little bundle of nerves there are sort of integral as well to that fight or flight response, and giving that sort of biofeedback back to the brain about our sort of survival instincts, and it's supplying essentially all your essential organs with those nerves as well. It's a real hot spot when it comes to our whole bodily systems functioning.
Definitely, you can have a thought up here and it will react here, and we all say, you know, a gut reaction, right?
Yeah.
So Kat, everybody is a physiotherapist, and hopefully we might be collaborating soon. But she's ever so good because she's got a very a whole what's the word I'm looking for, Kat? She's
holistic.
Thank you. I was nearly there. Holistic. I'm a woman of a certain age. I forget these things. She has a very holistic, and she comes at it from quite a spiritual angle, actually, which is why I love what she does. So if you've got any aches or pains, if I can't sort it, Kat might be able to as well. All right. So let's get started, everybody, because we're definitely over time. I hope you don't mind. We will run over. So if you all want to come down onto your mats, just one thing. You may need a block tonight. So if you've got, even if it's just a book, like a sturdy encyclopedia type thing, it's only for things like triangle, just for sort of balancing on. So if you've got that to hand, grab that in. I'm going to mute you all now, guys. So as of now, you are all muted. Okay, so if you wanted to put on any soft music in the background, then do feel free to do so. Let me just, so I can see everybody, that's great. All right, so come down onto your mats, everybody. We'll start off in Shavasana, so just lay your body down. And it doesn't matter if I can't see you, don't worry about switching your cameras around, as long as you can hear me for this, because we're going to come up and we're going to do some sun salutations to warm up. But for now, we're just going to center in and arrive for our practice in Shavasana. So just take a moment to settle your body in, snuggle your shoulders into the ground, allow your arms to roll out and away from the body, allow your feet to fall away from each other. Take a deep breath into your body, in through the nose. Fill up that belly with as much breath as you can. Just hold it for a moment. And just feel any tensions that you have being embodied in this inhale. And then open your mouth and just see all that stress and worry disappear on the exhale. Let it go. So as with every yoga practice, we always take a moment to center in, to arrive and to become present and aware of where we are in this moment, in this place, at this time. So as you lay here, just send your awareness out from your body. Perhaps you can hear what's going on out in the street beyond your house. You could hear the birds perhaps, or people talking. Or perhaps just picking up on the stillness and the silence around you, and connecting to whatever your sensations can pick up on. bring that awareness towards you. And just sense your body as you lay on the mat beneath you now. Feel all the points where your body connects into the earth below. And don't worry if you're in a building or even upstairs, because the energy, that chi, will come up from the earth and still have an effect. So feel your shoulders, your back, your glutes, your calves, your heels, your head, all against the ground, beneath your body as you lay here. And then draw that awareness internally. Start to listen to your internal clock, your heartbeat. And then feel your breath. Notice your inhale and your exhale. Take a moment to describe your breath to yourself. How are you breathing today? What words would you use to describe this breath if you had to someone else? And then, as we've discussed, we are today going to enter Manipura chakra. This chakra is situated about a couple of centimetres below your bottom rib. And here the element is fire. The principle of this chakra is combustion. The purpose here is energy, will, strength and mastery. The properties of this chakra are heat, strength, deliberateness and energy. The body parts are the ribs, the adrenals, the solar plexus and the digestive organs. Practices for this chakra are strengthening the will through discipline, using polarities to create power, using movement to generate energy, and strengthening the core, balancing the will and surrender. Actions are lengthening the sides, guiding pranic flow towards desired results, overcoming inertia, and practice, practice, practice. Poses that we may go into today will be balance poses, warriors, torso toners, twists and planks. And the male energy of this chakra are initiating, willing, forcing and making. And the female energy of this chakra is warmth, dexterity, skill and radiance. If you're deficient here, you may find yourself weak and passive. And if you're excessive here in Manipura, you can be overly controlling, dominant and tired. And when you're balanced, you have gained mastery. So bearing that all in mind, everybody, I'd like you just to all roll over onto one side. And come on up to standing at the front of your mats. So just gently bring yourself up to standing. So this is Manipura. We have quite a lot of energy going on here. So we're going to come straight into our sun salutations this evening. I'll just stand at this end and I'll stand in front of the door that you can see me better. I'm just going to push there so I've got a little bit more of a visual on my head. I think you might miss my arms. Yeah, we're good to go. Alright. So coming up to stand at the front of your mat, everybody. Just stand with the feet slightly apart. Let the arms just fall gracefully to your sides. Let the shoulders relax. Draw the chin back in towards your body a little. And imagine that you're sliding your neck up a wall behind you. So you're lengthening up through the back of the neck and you're sending the crown upwards towards the sky. Just allow your spine to be long. Try not to have a feeling overtly, tilting the pelvis in either direction. It's just neutral. Bring the palms to the heart centre. And we'll just take a moment to set our intention. So just close your eyes first of all. And when we set our intention, our sankalpa, we say the words I am, and then followed by whatever resonates with you today. So it could be I am here, I am present, I am strength, or I am happy, or I will concentrate throughout this class. Anything that resonates with you, or anything that you wish to give yourself, then say it to yourself 3 times now. Then after that 3rd round, see that intention just drift away out into the universe to do its will with it. So we're going to warm up with a few rounds of sun salutation. I'll go super slow to start with, just so that any of you that haven't done this for a while have a chance to remind yourself of the flow. So we'll start off, just take the palms up towards the sky, take a gentle back bend as you look up beyond your fingers. Find length in the body here as you press those fingertips up towards the sky. And then flip the palms to face forwards and then hinge at your hips. Just take a forward fold, come through that right angle all the way down to your forward fold Uttanasana. You can take a hold of the shins or the ankles, wherever you get to comfortably. Remember, this is our warm-up, so don't worry about trying to force this forward fold. And if you're quite open in the hips, you may be able to take the fingers down onto the floor. Let the head fully hang, just look back at that space in between your knees. Nice. And then bend into the knees so you come a bit lower towards the ground. Now take your fingertips either side of your feet and step your right foot to the back of the mat. Wiggle it back a little bit further and then set the knee down and come into your low lunge. Take the gaze forwards and just take a moment to have a sinking feeling into the hips, not a pushing feeling, but just allowing the hips to relax a little and sink into the pose. Then flatten the hands off on the ground, tuck the toes behind you, lift up the hips. And we're going to step the left foot back into down dog, those of you that can go straight back into down dog. Some of you may wish to come from here onto all fours and then lift the hips up and back into your down dog. Good work. Then we're just going to bring the shoulders over the wrists as you lower the knees down. So we're in this tabletop position. And then we're going to take the heart down in between the hands as we come down to our 8-point pose. Then tuck the tailbone down, raise the front body to a little baby cobra. Then exhale, take the chin back to the floor. Tuck the toes under, peel up your upper body, just come back onto your knees. And then as you exhale, lift the hips and come back into this downwards facing dog. And we're going to look at down dog in a minute with a little bit more intention. So we're just going to use this to warm up right now. Step your left foot into the centre at the back of the mat and raise your right leg high, a little 3-legged dog, and then bring that through and set it down as close to the front as you can, hopefully in between the fingers, and settle the back knee down onto the ground. And again, just sink into the hips as you look forwards. And then push off the back foot as we come into a forward fold, Uttanasana. And bend into the knees as we sweep the palms all the way up to the sky, back into that Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale as you draw the palms down the centre line to your heart. Okay, we all good? We all good. All right, let's do a second round. So inhale, press the palms to the sky, breathe in. And then flick the palms to face forward. And as you breathe out, just cascade down into that forward fold. Nice. Bend the knees, take the fingertips either side of your feet and step your left foot to the back of the mat. Wiggle it back, take a nice long stance as you bring the knee down. Raise the gaze and look forwards and flatten off the back foot. Nice little low lunge here, Anjani Asana. Then flatten off the hands, tuck the toes behind you. Either go back onto all fours and up to down dog, or you might be able to lift the knee and step back into your downwards facing dog. And here, just try to press the energy through the palms, so push the ground away at the front. And if you need to put a bend into the knees, then do so, just to, if you've got tight hamstrings, and allow the energy of the heels to fall towards the floor. Float forwards, shoulders over wrists at the same time, lower the knees, so we're in this extended tabletop pose. And then take the heart down in between your thumbs. Your hips should stay a little bit elevated, but don't worry if that hasn't happened for you. Tuck the tailbone down. We pull up the upper body for baby cobra, and then exhale the chin back to the floor. Tuck the toes, peel up onto your knees, and then lift the hips up and back into your down dog. Step your left foot forwards as far as you can to the front of the mat, hopefully in between your thumbs. Settle the back knee down and look forwards, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Then push off the back foot, come into your forward fold. And then bend into the knees and sweep the palms up to the sky as you breathe in. Then exhale, draw them down the centre line, back to the heart centre. I'm going to do that just one more time, maybe just a little bit quicker now. So take a breath in here, breathe in. Exhale, open the mouth and breathe it out. And inhale, press the palms up to the sky, find length through the body, and then exhale as you forward fold, cascading down into that Uttanasana. Step the right foot to the back of the mat, low lunge. Drop the back knee to the floor, raise the gaze and look forwards. Then flatten off the hands and step back into down dog. Or come through all fours if that works for you today. Ripple the shoulders over the wrists as you settle the knees down. And then take the heart down in between your thumbs. Hips stay a little bit high. Or you can peel down, tuck the tailbone and lift your upper body off the ground. Exhale, chin back to the floor. Tuck the toes, peel up onto your knees. And then exhale as you take the hips up and settle into this downwards facing dog. Step the right foot forwards in between the thumbs as you come into low lunge. Look forwards, sink into the hips. And then push off the back foot, come into that forward fold. Bend into the knees, sweep the palms up to the sky. And exhale, palms to heart. One more side. Inhale, sweep them up. And exhale, take a delicious forward fold into Uttanasana. Step the left foot back, come into that low lunge, sink into the hips, take the gaze forwards. And then flatten off the hands and step back into your down dog, however you are doing that today. Inhale as you float the shoulders forwards over the wrists as you lower the knees. Come back a little bit. And then take the heart down in between your thumbs. Tuck the tailbone, lift the upper body off the ground into your baby cobra, take the gaze forwards, and exhale, chin all the way back to the floor. Tuck the toes, peel up onto the knees. Last time everybody, up into downwards facing dog. And then step the left foot in between the thumbs, come into that low lunge. Push off the back foot into a little forward fold, Uttanasana, crown to the ground. And then sweep the palms up to the sky. And exhale the hands back to your heart. Good work. Alright, so we're nicely warmed up now. Alright, so our first pose this evening, I'm just going to it's more that you need to see my upper body for the first one, so I'm just going to set that. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is a standing side stretch. Alright, so stand in the middle of your mat or wherever, if you're facing forwards it doesn't matter, but stand, plant the feet squarely about a hip width distance apart. So the hip width we're looking for is where the bones protrude from the front here. Okay, that's the width that we're looking. Toes pointing forwards, And then we're going to swoop the arms up to the sky. Come back into this Urdhva Hastasana. But we're not going to look up anymore. We're just going to press the palms together in a prayer pose and take them up towards the sky, keeping our ears in between our upper arms. Make sure you're standing squarely, and then fold the fingers down and the thumbs except for the index finger. So we get like this Charlie's Angel kind of thing. This is Kali Mudra. And it just helps you stabilise when we come into this standing side bend. So we're going to go to the left first of all. So take a nice big deep breath in. And exhale, lean over to the left. Inhale up to centre. Exhale over to the right. Inhale up to centre. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale up to centre. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale up to centre. Exhale over to the other side, and we'll just do one more. Oh, nice stretch. Inhale up. Exhale over to the right. Last time. Oh, good work. That's it. Nice. Bring the hands back down to your heart. Okay, sweet. I'm just going to reset the camera so that, because now we need to come down so you can see the floor. Good. Okay, so now we're going to come back to that. I said we were going to come back and revisit downwards facing dog. So come to stand at the back of your mat. Take the hands down onto the ground. We're just going to walk forwards because we're just going to visit this as a singular pose. Take the palms down onto the ground. Take the feet back. Wiggle the balls of the feet back and settle the weight into the heels. So what we're looking for here is to have the palms on the ground, nice and flat onto the floor, so there's no little gaps into the palms. So we're suction cupping them onto the floor like little spidey hands. And you want the index finger, the finger that you point with, pointing to the front of your mat. Now press the ground away. Push your shoulder blades forward so you find a little bit of length in the side body. And act as though your hips are going up and back. You may feel like you've got a little back bend going on in the spine, which is how we like to envision a little dog when they stretch out in this manner, which is where the name for this pose comes from. If you've got really tight hamstrings, put a little bend into the knees and then lower the energy of the heels towards the ground. They may not reach the ground, but try to get the energy down. So we're not up on the balls of the feet, the heels are stretching down, so we're getting a really good stretch into the calves. So I'm just going to come and check you guys, so just hold your pose for a moment. Nice, good work everyone, good. Let me have a look there, hang on. Nice, good work. Just hold it for a couple more breaths. Kelly, can you just press the ground away at the front and lift your hips up a bit higher? No, go backwards. Send the energy, send the tailbone backwards. That's it. Yeah, nice. That's it. Good. So we get a little bit of like a little bit of a back bend into the spine. That's it. Nice. Okay, everybody. And then step one foot forwards, step the other foot forwards. And come to standing at the front of your mat. Okay, so there we go. Ardha Mukha Shavasana, downwards facing dog. Okay, starting to build up a bit of warmth now. So we're coming to stand at the front of our mat. So we're going to go through Virabhadrasana, unos, dos, tres. My head is off the camera again. Let me just sort that out a bit. Okay. So we're going to look at warrior 1, 2 and 3. So standing at the front of your mat, we're going to first of all, I want you to step the right foot to the back of the mat. Hopefully this will drop me down back into camera view. Yes, it will. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. A nice long stance here. And the back foot, you can either have the heel off the ground and it may be lifted, but I want your energy pressing down into that heel. Or if you've got good flexion in the back heel, you could turn it onto a 45. This isn't really the class for me to go over the little nuances of this, so just pick whichever one feels nice for you, either the back foot on a 45 or facing forwards and pressing down into that back heel. Bend into the front knee, bring your knee to wherever is comfortable for you. That could be slightly back here, but try not to go over the ankle too far. You should always be able to see your toes in front of you. Going to raise your arms up to the sky, bring them back up like we did in that standing side bend. Upper arms next to your ears and reach up towards the sky. Find length through the side body as you find those reaching fingers reaching for the sky. Hold. So we're just going to hold this for about 3 breaths. Try to stay strong and bring your left hip forwards and your right hip your left hip back, your right hip forwards, and be strong in the back leg here, in your knee. Be lifted through this right thigh, and keep the hips square to the front of the mat. Now we're going to turn the back foot on a complete 45 to the back of the mat, so it's parallel to the back of the mat, sorry. And then we're going to open the arms down into Warrior 2. Good. How are we doing? Make sure that your arms are nice and parallel to the ground. Sweet. Hold. And look out over your middle finger. And then from here we're going to straighten that front leg. Ooh, and then step forwards back into mountain pose. We're going to look at 1 and 2 together, and then 3 we'll look at separately because it doesn't really flow into it. Well, it does, but I'm not going to do it in that manner here. Step back with your left foot, nice long stance, wiggle it back a little bit further if you need to. Take your choice with the back foot, either pressing down into that back heel or put it on a 45, whichever works for you. I personally like to have it facing forwards. Widen your stance out if you feel that you are like teetering, like you're on a strap line or a high wire. Widen your feet, wiggle your right foot out to the side and just widen that base. Lunge into the front knee, so just settle down into that front knee, find your position here, and again sweep the arms up to the sky. And hold. Take the gaze forwards, maybe do Kali Mudra or palms together above your head. Or if you've got really tight shoulders, guys, if you're out, I know we've got a couple of guys in tonight, you can separate the arms, I'll just show you, and you can have them like this, okay? You don't have to have them, if it's really too tight for you to bring the shoulders in, then take a wider pose with the arms. Turn on the back foot, so turn the back foot so it's completely parallel to the short end of your mat, and float your arms down as you look out over your middle finger into Warrior 2. Try to relax the shoulders here. So often we see things like this, you know, but relax the shoulders down, but send your energy out through those fingertips, so they're spreading them north and south. And you can even turn the palms sideways and imagine like this is your little superpower. You've got like these rays of sunshine coming out through your fingertips. It's nice. And then turn on the back foot, give yourself a little jump and come forwards back into Tadasana. Step back into the centre of your mat. Take the same stance but into the centre of your mat. And now we're going to come into Warrior 3. Okay. So this is the one where it's almost like another superhero looking type pose, or you look like we're in Superman, like flying. I want you to imagine that you've got a bar across your hip creases. So we're not folding from the waist or the upper back. I want you to come down into a pike, like a right angle pose, bending at the hip creases. Get the upper body completely parallel to the ground. Take a little soft bend into the knees. You'll probably find this will be a lot easier. If you want to have the block with you, you could use the block, or you could go and use a wall if you know that your standing balances are a little bit wobbly. Maybe do this in front of a wall. And if you've got a partner there with you, like Kat has, you could even do this facing each other and hold each other's hands. Send the right leg up behind you, so it's parallel to the ground. Bring your palms underneath your heart center in a prayer pose. And try to create that straight line between the crown and the toes. Bending into the knee and rolling the right hip down towards the ground will keep the the lower back flat to the floor. And if you feel that you've got it here and you've nailed it, then extend the arms forwards. Bring the palms back to the heart. Set the right foot down. Oh, stand up. Let out a big sigh of relief. Whew. Starting to get warm. This is Manipura. This is the heat one. This is the one where we work a little bit. Okay, bring the palms up to the heart center as we come down into that on the other side. So take your forward fold into your right angle. Soft bend into the knees. We're going to take the weight into the right foot now as we raise the left foot up to the sky. Hold. And then if you've got this and you've nailed it, extend the arms forwards. Something for me to practice. Bring the palms back to the heart. Set the left foot down. Come up to standing. Ooh, nice. Okay, good work everyone. That's definitely warmed us up. Right, where are we going next? Oh. Okay, so standing in the front of your mat. These are all the standing poses. There we go. I want you to step your feet out wide, and you want your feet to be at least the width of one of your legs. Okay, so it never ceases to amaze me when everybody thinks they've got legs that are only about this long as they take this little, yay. Okay, so really want to get your legs out so you've got this equilateral triangle going on. You can even take a little bend down and check, make sure it's nice and wide. So we're going to come into Trikonasana, our triangle pose. So sweep the arms gracefully up, much like we did in Warrior 2. And relax into the shoulders, but extend that energy out through the fingertips. Now the first way we're going to move is to the left. So turn your left toes out by 45, and then bring the heel in by 45. This should bring your heel in perfect alignment with the arch of your back foot. Good. Upturn the left hand. We're going to glide forwards. Keep the arms parallel to the ground for as long as you can. And when you're ready, just cartwheel the arms and let the left hand place itself upon your shin. Now for some of you, that might be here, that could be up here. Some of you maybe all the way to here. Try to not let the upper shoulder drop forwards, but it's okay to let the hip roll in, okay? This way we keep the spine nice and long. So extend up through this left hand up towards the sky, wherever you may be in this pose. And don't worry about the left hip rolling in, but keep the left shoulder up and in line with the lower arm. And if you're a super yogi, you can turn and take the gaze up towards the upper thumb, like so, if this doesn't hurt your neck. And then I want you to suck that navel back in towards your spine, almost activating Uddiyana Bandha, and then lift and come back to neutral. Turn the left toes in, and then we're going to turn the right toes out by 45, heel in by 45, so it's in line with the back arch now. Upturn the right palm, glide it forwards. And when you feel you've got enough, just cartwheel. Take the hand to wherever is comfortable for you. Okay, that may be up here, like I say. And If you're hypermobile, be very aware of snapping the knee back. So if you're hypermobile like I am, you might have to put a slight bend into this front knee so that you don't snap the knee back and then strain all the connective tissues and ligaments up through the back of the knee. So be aware, only you know your body in that manner. And then glide into position wherever you wish to be. Down here for me. And if you wish, you can turn and look up at the thumb. This is the, perfect pose, Trikonasana. Okay. And then bring the belly button back in towards your spine, so suck the belly button in, and then inhale, lift. Bring the arms up, and we're going to take a little soft bend to the knees as we jump into centre. Oh, yes, it definitely brings some heat up. Okay, so that's Trikonasana. Let me just check. Oh yeah, now we're going to need your blocks. I've been hanging out with the Americans too long. Blocks. Grab your block. So grab your block as we come into half moon pose. Now, Ardha Chandrasana, which way should I get you doing this? Which way should I do it so you can see better? I'm going to turn to the side. So you just face wherever, anybody on the camera, YouTubers, you guys at home, just face the camera. I'm just going to go sideways so you can see better. So again, we're going to come into a forward fold. I'm going to say, just like we did for Warrior 3, so forward fold with the hips. If you want to watch me do this before you do it, then that's absolutely fine if you haven't done this one before. If you need the block, set it off to the left, just sort of diagonally out from your left foot. Now, you'll have to work with, if you've never done this one before, you have to work with where the height you want it. Could be flat like so, halfway, full way, halfway, midway, Place the palm down onto your block. You don't have to use a block. If you've got enough flexion in the hips, you may be able to take the hand just straight to the floor. So I'm going to put my hand on the block like so. Feet are hip width distance apart, and I'm going to raise my right leg up behind me, much like we did in Warrior 3. Then I'm going to turn my gaze, before I do anything else, to the right. This opens up and brings my hip up and takes the hip back also. Then when I'm happy that I've got the gaze in place, I'm then going to peel my arm up to the sky and come into my half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Okay. When I want to come out, I'm going to let the arm float down. I'm going to take my gaze back to the ground. And I'm going to set the foot down. And I'm going to swap it to the other side. So what I find is really useful here is to do this in stages, not try and fling my body into this pose without doing it with a little system of 1, 2, 3. So 1 is to set the hand down onto the floor, either on the block. Let the left leg float up. Then I will take my gaze and allow my hip to roll up. And then I'll peel my left arm up to the sky. Half moon pose. Let the hand peel down to the ground. Left foot down. And relax. Let's take a little load off in Uttanasana. Whew. How are we doing? We good? Yeah. Alright. Good work everyone. Nice. Okay. Set your block off to one side. Still staying standing. A lot of standing postures in Manipura. Okay. Set the feet out wide again. Same sort of distance as you had in your triangle pose. We're going to start with the other side first. So we'll come to the left foot. Turn the left foot out just like you did in triangle. So that the heel is in line with your back arch. Take a little bend into this left knee, but this time we're going to take the forearm, the flat of the forearm, onto the thigh. I want you to have the palm flat like you're holding a tray, and then sweep your right arm up to the sky, and you're going to create a nice straight line between your fingertips and the back foot. Long ankle pose. Keep reaching up. We want this line of energy to go from the fingers to the back foot, so keep stretching away, finding some length through here, through this side body. Good. Take an extra breath here. Breathe. Inhale deep. And if you feel the need to, open the mouth and exhale any shit out. We're going to straighten into that front leg as you come up through centre. Let the arms cartwheel, turn the foot in, turn the left foot out, lunge into that knee and come down. Forearm to the thigh, left arm, right arm overhead, and reach for the sky. Find length through the side body as your side body stretch. Good work. And again, we just hold for 2 breaths. Breathe it in. And then inhale, lift. Exhale, step it in. Okay, let me just check my notes. Okay, so coming down onto the floor, I think we're coming down towards the floor from now on. I'm going to look at Navasana, which is our boat pose. So sitting in the centre of your mat. Bring the feet up, bend into the knees, bring the feet up on the mat close in towards you. And this is the one where we balance on basically on the fleshy part of your bum. We don't want to round through the spine in this pose. We want to keep the spine nice and straight and keep the heart lifted. And there are many variations here, so we can choose one that works for our bodies today. So as we take the weight back onto the fleshy part of your bottom, lift the feet off the floor, and hopefully you'll find a balance tipping point here. Extend your arms out so they're parallel with the lower legs. You can have the knees quite close in towards the body. And if this really is not available for you today, then just place one foot down and do it 1 foot at a time. So you can then lift a foot, place a foot down, lift a foot, place a foot down. Those of you that are here and have got this nailed, just lift up through the heart centre a little bit more so we've got a nice straight spine. And then perhaps you could, extend the legs up and then bring them back down. Or we could take it a little bit lower, like so, and extend out. So extend the legs out, lower the body down, just as you hit the ground, come back up. So whatever variation you're working with, I'm going to work with this one. So we're going to lengthen the body, extend the legs away, lower the back down to the ground, but just before you get to the ground, lift, so you're really engaging into the core. And one more time, lower down, so really engaging into that core centre of your body. Inhale, lift. Put the feet down. Whew. Feel the burn. Have we got a burn? Can I have a thumbs up? We're burning. Give me a chakra if you're burning. Nice. Yeah, okay. I'm going to take this into tabletop pose. So from here, take the palms behind your body with the fingers pointing towards your butt, okay? Again, a little bend into the knees, feet flat on the ground, about hip width distance apart. If you want to see me demo this one first of all, then by all means do so. So this is tabletop, reverse tabletop pose. So inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. You might have to work with your body and find how long, that it works for you. You might have to just shuffle around and play around with the length of where your feet and your hands are. And then on your second time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One last time, inhale. Exhale. Whew. Yeah, that definitely works the extensors. Okay, inclined plane pose. So same again, keep the palms behind you. This is slightly different. I think I prefer this one though to the one we've just done. This time, stretch the legs out in front of you. And we're just going to come up, a same sort of action but onto the flats of the feet, and then there'll be a straight line created between the head and the feet through the legs and the upper body. So again, I can demonstrate. So inhale, lift the hips up high, keep pressing the ground away from you, really retract the shoulder blades in towards each other, and exhale, lower the hips down. Whew. Take a moment, you might want to just rotate through the wrists if they're a bit sore, not used to taking that amount of weight. And again, we'll do that 2 more times. So inhale, lift the hips off the ground, try to flatten the feet off on the ground, lift the hips up high, squeeze the glutes, retract the shoulder blades, exhale, lower, down. Whew. This is one of the harder chakra classes, by the way. They're not all quite as hard as this one. Inhale, one last time. Exhale, lower down. You may have felt like a cramping in your calf when you do that. That's quite a usual one to get in this one. So you might just give your calves a little massage. Okay, so coming sideways onto your mat, we're going to come into Vashisthasana. How are we doing for time, by the way? I don't have I think we're okay. We're okay. Okay, so Vashisthasana. Place your palm down at the top of your mat with the fingers pointing towards the front of the mat. So not sideways on, to the front of the mat. Kind of lay the legs on top of each other, so your right leg is on top of the left, knife edge of the foot onto the ground, and we're going to lift up into what I call, what is called Vashisthasana. So lift the hips and peel your right arm up to the sky. Now, there are variations, which I shall show you if that is too much. Come down onto the elbow and have the palm facing forwards this time, fingers to the short end of the mat. Place the palm down on the ground, and this will give you a little stabilising, and then we can take a much more gentle version of the pose. And if even that is too much for you, bend the lower leg at the knee, and then use the knee to help you lift the hips off the ground. And then here you may be able to peel the arm up to the sky. So this is the beginning part of the pose. If that's nice and easy, you could extend both legs, lift the hips, maybe you could peel the arm up. And if anybody wishes to go into a full Vashisthasana, hips off the ground and peel the arm up to the sky. Lower the hips down when you've done, and then we'll swap to the other side. I shall just spin around like so. So here, just choose your pose of choice. Either just go down onto the elbow, bend the lower leg, and extend the upper leg down to the inside of the foot. Inhale, lift. Everybody exhale, lower the hips down. So you can either stay there, I'm going to do this 2 more times, I'll do each one, but you just stay with the variation that you wish. Inhale, lift the hips to the sky, peel the arm up if you can. Exhale, lower the hips, hand to the floor. 1 more time, I'll take the full variation. So lift the hips off the ground, peel the arm up to the sky. Oh, I can just see this little Mexican wave of hands going up, it's so cool. And then lower the hips down. Oh, good work everybody. We're nearly there. We are nearly there. We're going to, let me just check. Yeah. Come down onto your fronts, lay down. And lay down with your head at the end where you would want to come into Shavasana. Okay, because we will just roll over from here and come into our Shavasana. We've got 2 poses to do before we get there. So the first one is locust pose. So take the, let your feet be about mat width distance apart behind you. Take the arms down by your sides with the palms facing upwards towards the sky. Come down onto your chin. And for a moment here, just rest. Maybe rock the hips from side to side and just relax. Now, on an inhale, everybody, you're going to lift the upper body, your arms, and your whole of your legs, so the knees and the tops of the feet, off of the mat. So we're trying to balance on that pivot point of the pubic bone. So take a deep breath in, and as you inhale, lift the feet, try to lift the knees, lift the upper body, and maybe just take the gaze down towards the mat so that you stay nice and long in the neck there. Exhale, release, and lower. Turn the head to one side and just relax. And do this 2 more times. So inhale, lift, fly like a little locust. Make sure, keep the gaze down towards the mat below you, just so that you're nice and long through the neck and through the crown. Exhale, release. And then one last time on your next inhale, lift. See how much height you can get with your limbs. And hold for as long as you can hold the breath, really. And then exhale, release. Whew. Maybe turn the head to the other side and just let the breath out of the body. And relax. Let your heart rate come down a little. Before we come into one of the last poses, before we come towards our relaxation. So I want you to bend the left knee, bend the right knee, bring the feet in towards the butt from where you are. And if you can reach back and take a hold of the ankles with your hands, that nice big thick bone at the front of the ankles here. And we're going to come into Dhanurasana, our wheel pose. So already you can probably feel a nice stretch into your quadriceps. And again, just like we did in locust, we're going to inhale and lift. But this time I really want you to maybe hook the toes and really press those feet into the hands so they lift up and away behind you. So inhale, lift the upper body and press those feet back into the hands so that you create this tension between the shoulders and the feet. Maybe you can rock. And then exhale, release down. Whew. Take a breath in and turn the head to one side if you wish. And do it 2 more times. So on your next inhale, lift. How high can you press those feet into the hands? Press them up and back. Then exhale, release. Turn the head in the other direction. And then last time, guys, take your deep breath in as you lift and then exhale. Release the hands now, make a little pillow for your head, turn the head to one side, the other way, and just take a few exhales out through the mouth. Let it all go. So good. And then gently, in your own time, just rolling over onto your backs. And if you want to grab a blanket, if you have one, if you feel that I don't expect you will need one after this evening's practice, but if you wish to have a blanket, then do get one. So lay down on your backs, allow your feet to roll to the sides, let your arms peel away from the body with the palms facing upwards. Snuggle your shoulders into the ground. Tuck the chin a little. And allow your body to fully settle and release into the ground below. Ancient yogis believe that this pose, corpse pose as it translates, Shavasana, was the best way to allow all the energy channels to run freely through the body. So this is why we lay in this posture after our practice, because we would have opened energy channels, and now everything can run clear and free, just like that stream that we spoke about at the beginning of the class. We are still, yet we sense a growing warmth within us. We are alone, yet we sense others around us, longing to break free, longing for warmth and light. There is a form here, but it is empty. There is life here, but it is still. There is awareness here, and it is awakening. From a place of stillness, we call forth movement, slowly reaching out, expanding, breathing, stretching and flowing. Into form, we invoke life, its spark from the fire of the place between ourselves and others, between past and future, between the known and the unknown. We move and dance, pleasure singing through us as the dance of the life burns its way through our fears and our pains. Feel the warmth of pleasure, melting the tension, pulsating and growing. The rhythms of life and movement, healing and soothing, warming and cooling. From a place of infinite movement, we call on the self. We call on the self to awaken to another part of the journey. We call upon the self to awaken to the sun, the fire, the warmth, the transformation. We call upon the self through our will, and it rises to our call. We reach for the sun and call upon the yellow ray, the ray of life, the ray of creation, the ray of consciousness, the spark of fire. We call upon the flames to burn within us and temper our passions into strength. And with strength we fight the dark, pushing and straining to realize it is part of ourselves, part of our strength and part of our fear. We laugh and we put down the fight, merging, becoming whole, becoming stronger. We pass between the pillars of light and dark, honouring both, and find ourselves in a new and glorious land, a land of bustling activity, teeming with life, sparkling like stars with shining rivers of light reflecting the sun. The sparks catch our eyes and we turn towards their glow, and they move and dance, connecting and igniting all that they touch. They touch something within, igniting strength, will, action, and sparks fly, igniting other threads, other fires. They explode and burn bright, and then are gone. We are lifted, we are lightened, we are laughing. We feel our bodies sway with the rising heat, hot tongues of fire moving within us, expanding, contracting, but growing ever wider, yet returning always to its source within us. Our bodies now burning, radiating heat and light and strength and will, power pulsating through us, from above, below, around, and running through. transforming all that is within and without, our bellies bursting with joy. Feel this energy deep within your body, burning with the fire of your own life. Feel it pushing deep into the earth, down through the earth, to the hot molten centre of earth. And then feel it return from the earth, rising up from the heat below, through your legs, your pelvis, your belly, moving up through your body, through each part of your body, your arms, your hands, your chest, neck, head. Feel it flowing out of you, connecting with other sparks, filaments of energy, other fires of life. Feel it connect with the thoughts inside you, your constant sparking of neurons, interconnecting filaments of energy, lines of thought, patterns in a web, ebbing and flowing in pulsing flames, burning with a glow of activity. You are now a vital intersection of energy, merging, combining, exploding, radiating. Expend your awareness without and within, weaving a web of power, like a fire growing higher and brighter. Power flows through you effortlessly, easily, calmly. You are one with the powers around you and within you. Think of the times when you knew this power, times when you felt this connection, that vitality, that importance and strength. Think of the times that power flowed through you like warmth from the sun. Think of those times and feel them now. Feel your body radiate that purpose, dance with that majesty, and sing with that strength. In this fiery world of activity, you are a channel for power around you. You open to it, you burn with it, you drink it in, and you pass it on, easily, effortlessly, willingly, joyfully. Your power peaks, returns, and starts to feed that fire within, that molten core feeding your body, silently charging, ready to expand again when your next purpose calls. Fire has burned high, and the coals now glow with warmth. Exhilarated, your body relaxes. A smile plays on your lips, and your hands are at peace with the strength that they have carried, and you again return to that gentle breathing, in and out, in and out, in and out. Satisfied, you rest. Take a deep breath in. Breathe deep down into your belly. Hold that breath. And then open the mouth and sigh that whole breath out. Take a moment to just gently touch each fingertip with your thumbs. Stretch the fingers out. Stretch the skin across the palms. Make little fists, bring the fingers into the palms, thumbs over the top, and then release. Stretch the toes away. Bring the toes back towards your shins. Maybe circle the feet through the ankles, and then relax. And the rest is up to you, guys. Just stretch and move now in any way that feels right for your body, bending at the knees, bending at the elbows. Maybe hug the knees in or extend the arms overhead. Whatever you feel like doing, just bring that awareness back into your physical body. When you're ready, roll over to the right. Just take a few breaths there on the right hand side. And then coming on up to a seated pose when you're ready. I'm going to unmute you all now. So as of now, you are unmuted. As we just come up and say our namastes to each other. All right, everybody. All right, well, thank you so much for coming and sharing your evening with me. I hope you all feel nice and blissed out now. Yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks, Chris.
No, it's like, yeah, I don't want to go, I just want to go back, I just want to go to sleep now. It's nice. All right. Do drink a bit of water, guys. You will have expelled, you know, some shit in your body. So go and have a nice bit of water, just to help flush it through. Be kind to yourself the rest of the evening. And I'll see you on the mat next week, all right? Namaste.
Namaste.
No, thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. Have a great
Thank you,
evening.
bye.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.